Hello traders, today is Monday, August the 19th, 2024. I just realized that my last two videos don't have any audio. I don't know what happened to my mic. I'm just gonna keep the videos there. Anyways, it's kind of frustrating because there was a lot of very good information, and some of the calls that I made on those videos are actually working out very nicely. Well, it is what it is, and I apologize if you came in and wanted to get some information on some of these names, and you actually got just screen without of charts without any I guess audio in them. So sorry about that. Anyways, I have 13 names for you today. Some of them are already playing. Some I mentioned some of them last week. I mentioned some of them yesterday. Unfortunately, again, there was no audio in a couple of the videos, but there are some names that I've been mentioning quite often, and they're actually looking pretty good right now. Anyways, this is for educational purposes only. It's not financial advice. I strongly recommend you to do your own due diligence or research before you invest your capital on stocks or any type of investment. That being said, let's start with Affirm. And I really like the move that we have seen in Affirm since Monday the 5th, which was the day when everybody was panicking, including myself, thinking that things were going to get pretty bad. Anyways, we had a really nice comeback. We went over this resistance level at 27.20. And then right now we're mounting the 35 SMA. One thing that is pretty important right now is that we are maybe facing some resistance on the 200 EMA, but we are probably going to continue going towards resistance at 33. Keep an eye on the 200 EMA. I think it is an important resistance level in my opinion, and you might get rejected or maybe go over and retest and then continue going towards 30. MACD and RSI is still under the zero line, so I don't see them very extended. Today, Affirm had a 6.6% day. It wasn't bad at all. And then also the RSI is not oversold. So there is definitely room to continue going towards this area. There is more liquidity here, so you might have a little bit of difficulty going towards 33 or even breaking 33, but this is a critical level in my opinion of resistance. That is what I have for Affirm. And now let's move on to Ally. And Ally, I mentioned Ally yesterday, and I think I did put something on X. I'm not sure. Anyways, what I said about Ally was that you had to break this resistance level right here. I also was mentioning the entire sector that was pretty much moving with a lot of momentum. I see the same in Ally. I do believe that now that we're mounting this resistance level at 41.8, we can continue going up. There is very low liquidity here. The MACD and the TSI are looking great, and also the RSI is looking pretty good. I did put Ally on my focus list. I think I might actually get some calls tomorrow. We'll see what happens in at opening or maybe throughout the day, and then I'll make a decision if I get in or not. But definitely I do believe there is a good opportunity to the upside, at least for this week. That's what I have on Ally. And then let's move on to AMD. Another name that I was mentioning throughout the week, and also I believe in yesterday's video, what I've been saying about AMD is the fact that you actually rebounded from this level right here, and now you went over 134. I did buy some calls on this area. I got out, I think, right here, and but there was a continuation. Now you're mounting the 200 EMA. You're over resistance on 150. I think in one of the videos that I made last week, I was saying that we were going to get at least to 150 or 151. And now we are facing the 35 SMA, which I think we're going to continue going up. And we're going to continue going towards 161. There is definitely still momentum. I think you might encounter some red candles or something like that, but I think your next target should be 161. unless you have another nice day tomorrow and you're gonna mount this area. But you have you definitely have liquidity, higher liquidity here. So there might be a little bit of a difficulty, but I do believe that 161 for now is a good area, and then you are probably going to continue towards 180. The MACD and the TSI are looking good. The RSI is not oversold or anything like that. So I do believe that there is definitely more for AMD, especially with earnings for NVIDIA and whatnot coming next week. I think that AMD is going to continue going up. Volume is also coming in, so I like what I'm seeing. And AMD is definitely one of those names that feel kind of safe to put some or to buy some calls. Now let's move on to Cava. I mentioned Cava, I think, on X on the 12th, which was Monday, and then I think it was on the 12th or the 13th, one of these 2 days. And I did put some charts on X as well about Cava. Basically, what I was saying is, and we were going to break 95 and go to all-time highs. We did that on Friday. We did that again today. Friday was a pretty... No, it was just an okay day, almost 2%, and today almost 1.25%. Anyways, I do believe that Cava is probably gonna continue going a little bit higher, or you might retest this level at 95, 80, and but I think it's gonna stay above the support level until we get to earnings, and we'll see what kind of earnings they bring. I like Cava. I think right now it's a little bit risky because I see it a little bit extended going into earnings. You might have another 2 or 3 days of green candles or maybe a retest, as I mentioned. But I do believe that I would wait, at least that's what I would do, for earnings, and so just to get this out of the way. But I like the move. I did call this on Monday or Tuesday, I believe. And it's happening now. I'm not sure if I mentioned this on another video, but I did definitely mention that on X. Sorry about that. I got a little lapsus. I want to mention another. So we're gonna have 14 days. I want to mention this. Who remembers Clover Health? And let me make a note on this. And Clover Health is one of those SPUCs that Chamath was behind, and a lot of people were saying, you know, he did us dirty. I don't know how I thought about this. I thought about this. I was driving. I was going to the gym, and I was thinking, whatever happened to that stock? I actually used to trade this back in 2019 or 2020, and you know, it was one of those things that did rally. It went really high, and then it completely ended up dumping. So what I believe that is going to happen here is, well, I don't know. This kind of squeeze, I think, is very extended. The way I see these kind of charts, I honestly think there might be an opportunity to short, but I wouldn't. There is a high volume, and there is also a lot of short selling pressure, which I wouldn't like to get caught on this. I just wanted to mention this because that run has been very impressive, especially since April of this year. Has gone from 57 cents up to 320 pretty much, or 340. This is a pretty nice run. I think I'm just gonna keep this on my watch list. I'm not gonna trade it at all. Again, when I see this kind of stuff, I feel like I want to short it, but it's one of these meme stocks or whatnot that that could be very dangerous if you're actually shorting it. I think I'm gonna look into how their earnings went, and I wonder if this move is because this company is now profitable, and if that is the case, you might have a case here, not right now, but later on. This will probably continue going up. I'm just speculating right now. I'm just kind of impressed with this consistent move all the way up here. Here you got a little bit out of control, but all this looks like it's like a steady move up. And then after earnings, you had a couple of red candles, and then you just completely went up. I don't know. If you remember this name, you probably have also some memories from back in the day when Wall Street Bets and all of those people were very into this name. Looks like it's coming back. I could be wrong. I'm just gonna keep it on my watch list. Next, it's funny. I totally forgot I was mentioning this. Let's do Disney. I mentioned Disney, I believe, yesterday. And again, the video didn't have audio, so you didn't get what I was trying to say. But anyways, what I was saying was that you had to break 89 and then see if you have a solid day today. You actually got it. I do have right now 6 positions. I'm not going to buy Disney, but I like it. And I might get a 7th, which is Ally. We'll see what I do tomorrow, but there is definitely opportunity here. I really like this. Again, the only reason why I'm not going long on this is because I already have other positions and I don't want to have all kinds of calls or puts or whatever I'm investing. To me, it gets very distracting when I have way too many names to handle. Anyways, I like this. Let's see if we retest this 89 level and then continue going up towards 35 SMA, which is what you're going to encounter before you get to 96. But I like the TSI, I like the MACD, the RSI. All these indicators are looking great, and the levels are looking pretty good too. You're mounting them, and you had a pretty solid day, 1.7% today, and volume still the same. It's not increasing really, but we'll see. I think if I trim some of my other positions, Disney might be on my short list actually to get in, because it looks like an early move. So I like Disney right now. If you like the setup, there might be some opportunity here to make money, at least from where we are right now, which is 90.80 to 96 or so, to that area. Now next I'm gonna move to Enphase. Enphase is also looking good. I think I did put this chart on X, so take a look at that. It's the same on X. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. Anyways, you are right at 200 EMA. Now you want to mount this and go over this resistance level at 122. But I think if you mount this, you're just gonna continue going up. There is definitely a lot of opportunity here since you have very low liquidity here. The MACD and the TSI are not overextended. The RSI is looking good. So I think if you have a good day tomorrow, maybe another 1.5 or 2% day tomorrow, you're gonna go over 122, and then there is definitely opportunity here. I really like what I'm seeing on Enphase. And again, you have low liquidity here, so there's definitely opportunity as long as you mount at 200 EMA and you have a solid move on this resistance level at 122. Let's move on to Google. I cannot read the names. Okay, let's take a look at Google. And I did buy Google today, and I mentioned this yesterday and sometime last week as well. I like what I'm seeing here, the bouncing on the 200 EMA. Also the fact that this candle didn't even touch the 200 EMA and came back, and then you're breaking resistance at 164. This morning I bought a few calls on Google. They expire on September 27th. And my strike price is 175, so I'm somewhere up here. So I think now our next resistance level is at 35 SMA, and then you can continue going towards this gap right here. I really like what I'm seeing on Google, considering the fact that out of the big tech names is the one that is being actually lagging and missing most of the huge moves that we have seen on, let's say, Netflix or Meta or Microsoft and even Apple and so on. So I do believe that there is a lot of opportunity here, and that's why I bought some calls. I like Google, and I do think that if we mount the 35 SMA, 180 is definitely in the horizon. MACD, TSI, RSI, look at these things, they look fantastic. So today, actually, Google was kind of weak during the day. You had a nice run, and then it kind of lost momentum, and then it started picking up again. So yeah, I do like how it closed. It closed with momentum. Volume could be a little bit better, but we'll see. We'll see what we get tomorrow. I like Google. What do we do next? I have, let's take a look at this. GOVX, is that the name? GeoVax, GOVX, and this is another name that I used to trade during COVID, and it had a couple of nice runs. I did pretty decent money with GOVX. To be honest, I think a lot of people are pushing this name because of the monkeypox thing going on. I do believe that look, the reality is, and this disease has been around since 1958, so it's not a new disease. There is no treatment for it. I mean, it sucks if you get it, for sure, but you know, that the transmission is not as I guess easy to get it as you would be with, you know, influenza or COVID or something like that. Anyways, I do believe that this might, I don't know if it's going to continue running, but I do think that there might be an opportunity here to actually short this. Now, I might take some puts on this, but be very careful with that kind of entries, because you can actually get killed on those. And the only reason why I wouldn't short and instead buy puts is like, if something really bad happens to your puts, you're basically going to lose a principal. If you're actually shorting, you're going to lose everything, you know, if you're not quick enough. So I would buy puts. I think I will. I just want to see how this moves throughout maybe tomorrow or the next day. And if you keep an eye on this, or if you see this, it actually had a nice move from basically 100%, right? You were at 6 and some change, and then all the way up to 11.11, and then you went down to 7.18. So it actually lost a lot of momentum. It lost basically all the gains of the day today. So this is not the candle that you want to see. So there might be some opportunity to the downside. Now, again, this is super risky. The reason why I would do that is because how extended everything is. This is definitely, there might be a couple of red candles here, and I might jump into that opportunistic trade. But again, I'm willing to lose everything that I put on those puts in this move. So that's what I have for GOVX. And next I have, let's talk about HIMS. And I mentioned HIMS yesterday. I did mention HIMS, I believe, early last week. And what I was saying about HIMS is how it was bouncing on this support level at 1534. And my thesis was, like, if it doesn't break, or if it doesn't actually break the 200 EMA, which would be my limit, then you're going to bounce back. Well, it's happening today. Today, HIMS was up 6.3%. And I did buy calls on Thursday of last week. And then Friday, I was a little bit nervous, but I was like, well, these are November puts, and I would sell if we go under the 200 EMA. Well, it didn't. It actually bounced from the support level, and now we're up at by 6.3%. I do believe that this is going to continue. Look at the MACD and the TSI. This is getting strength on the TSI. The RSI is already pointing up. So I think that my next resistance level is going to be the 35 SMA, somewhere around 1830 or so. But then we can probably continue towards 1873 or 1870. I do believe that this is going to be a nice move. I'm not going to touch these calls. Again, these are November calls. I do believe there is a lot of room here, and I'm kind of excited about what happened today. 6.29. I think at one point it was up 8% or so. Yeah, it was higher than 6.3. But anyways, you got momentum towards the second part of that trading hours, and here we are. I really like HIMS. I did call it. Unfortunately, there was no audio. I did call it yesterday, but I also called it early on the week. So hopefully you actually participated on this. I think you're still early. I still think there is opportunity to go to at least 18 or 19, or in that case, if you're at 19, you're probably gonna go towards 21. So opportunity there. Another name that I mentioned yesterday, and again, there was no audio, and I know that's the only time I mentioned it, is IREN Energy. I like IREN Energy, and what I was saying yesterday on the video, I guess I was telling myself since nobody could hear it, is that I was gonna buy calls today. So I did. I did buy calls on IREN, and let me take a little note right here. I did take some calls on IREN, and it's moving a little bit slower than what I would like to. But my thesis on this is kind of like similar to what I'm seeing on HIMS. And these candles right here are bouncing on the 200 EMA, and now you are moving towards resistance at 860. I think if you break resistance here, the 35 SMA is not going to do anything, and you're going to go straight to 10. And the reason for that is because right from here, from this doji candle, you have no liquidity until pretty much 1020. I like what I'm seeing here. I did buy some calls. They expire on September 27th, and the strike price is 8.5. So yeah, these are looking good. I like what I'm seeing here. I wish there was a little bit more momentum today, but again, I do believe that we're gonna continue going towards 861, and we'll see if there's rejection, or if we mount it. If we mount it, I think we're just gonna go straight to 10. That's what I have for IREN Energy Limited. And let's move on to another name that I like a lot. And I did put this, which is NextEra Energy, and look at this setup. And what I did put on X is that we might see some fireworks next week. So that happened last week. That's what I remember. So I did mention IREN on the 18th. That was yesterday. Okay, great. So on the 16th, that was on Thursday of last week. Let's see. On Friday of last week, this is what I was saying, is that we might see some fireworks next week. It looks like we are about to set them off. I want to see this a little bit more momentum here, but we are probably going to see a continuation here. There is very low liquidity here, and I think that this move is going to happen. I might actually get some calls. I don't know. Again, I have already 6 positions, and I really like Ally, and I like a couple of other names. So I really have to pick which ones I'm going to get. But I really like this. You're mounting this resistance level as of today. Now is support, and now you're breaking this pattern right here. So we'll see what happens tomorrow or during the week. But definitely bullish on NEE. That is what I have for NEE. And let's move on to SBUX. And I am bearish on SBUX. I do think that you're gonna probably going to feel, I don't know if the whole this whole gap right here, but at least partially, you're gonna go towards the 200 EMA. It looks like it's losing a lot of momentum. This came out of news from the new CEO. Well, I think the news already faded, and now you're gonna probably see a little bit of a sell-off. I think this is an easy opportunity, in my opinion, to go short or to buy puts on this name. There's no liquidity here, so at least until to fill this gap, or at least to 84, yeah, at least to 84, you have a lot of room to make money here. Again, I do think that there is definitely opportunity to the downside for Starbucks. That's what I have for Starbucks. And then last but not least, let's take a look at Tesla. And Tesla is looking pretty good. So what did I say last week? My range was 163 to 230. My range now would be 185, 186 to 230. I think we're going to hit 230. We'll see if it mounts or it rejects this level, but I think that 230 is definitely in the horizon. Look at the MACD and the TSI. Every time it happens, well, not every time, but most of the times when we see this on Tesla, you see a nice solid move. This looks really, really good. Again, there is so many setups and so many good things around that I really want to take advantage of them, but I also don't want to go crazy with all my positions. Anyways, that is what I have for you guys. I do believe, again, my range went from 63 now to 186 to 230. We're going to hit 230 and we'll see what happens. Would be optimal if we are between 206 and 230. That would be fantastic. But for now, I guess my range for Tesla is 186 to 230. We're going to hit 230 in my opinion. This is looking good. And if there's momentum, you're going to mount it. And then we can talk 265. We'll see if that happens. I am bullish on Tesla at least until we hit 230. And then we can reassess that area. That's all I have. I'm sorry for the last two videos without audio. Well, that's that. Thank you. Bye-bye.